morning, and I heard in our kitchen downstairs what sounded like glass tinking together. And I was like, and it's 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, and no one's starting to be here yet. So I was like, that's crazy. And then I hear all these stories about hearing screams. Like if you're inside, it sounds outside. If you're outside, it sounds inside.
Oh, wow.
We experienced the footstep stuff, like on the stairs. We heard stuff on stairs, and actually had a REM pod's like a proximity sensor. If you get your either by as a human or as a spirit image, it potentially sets it off. So when heard this loud noise and the REM pod went off, and it was all this stuff. So yeah, and then especially particularly when we were up in this room, it seems like something wants to get our attention out of there.
The conference room.
The conference room.
Yeah.
That was one of the videos I watched.
Yeah.
I think the only other experience I had was I was sitting at my desk, and again, it was when I first started here at Elkton, and the drawer next to me had opened and closed, and
Holy cow!
Yes,
that is pretty heavy
and I was
duty.
Like, okay, well, so that's because I thought they were just, I thought they were kidding with me. I thought they were trying to scare the new girl, and then these things were happening. I was like, no, they were serious.
So I guess too, it doesn't help that the fact that it was used as a morgue down there.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't
I'm
help.
assuming that's where you were. Right?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
that's
tried to read up
crazy.
on the history a little bit here and kind of get an understanding about who is here. So
That's cool,
I
man.
think
Yeah.
it's so cool.
Yeah, it seems like all the different officers that worked there had stories.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They all, especially the nighttime guys.
Yeah, they have some creepy ones.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's like I said, the screams. That one gets me. That one's weird to me. I'm like,
And a lot of disembodied voices, and then one of them said last year something about that when they locked up to leave to go to a call or whatever, and when they were in their squad car backing out, they looked up in that window, and there was a man standing there.
really?
Yeah.
I know, like I've seen the lights turn on and stuff,
And no one's there.
I've heard like the bang or like the loud drop of something, and then there's nothing that ever.
Yeah, I think that's what we heard that one time.
That one's so weird to me because it's like I've heard like people have gone and investigated it, and there's nothing on the ground, nothing's fallen, and it's so weird that they can do that.
There's no reason for it.
So I've had it happen over top my head several times, and I'm just like, oh god.
I know when my kitchen back here, they had talked about shadow figures and stuff, and I was setting up. I don't know if you ever seen the stick figure camera,
I
the
have.
SLS. Yeah, I had a couple of them, so I was going to leave a stationary one in the kitchen, and I was setting it up, and I had my back to the sink. I didn't even realize till we reviewed evidence that this little stick figure pops up out of the sink. And look at the size of a kid. Remember that?
That's
Popped
funny. It was
yeah,
kind
it
of
was like
funny.
just standing there in the sink. It was just crazy.
It was weird.
Yeah.
That is
It was. Yeah, it came
You
out
can
of the
see, and it
sink.
looks like it kind of like comes up and then it stands on the counter. It's really weird.
I'll have to post
Yeah.
that with this interview to show people because
Yeah.
it really was. We've never seen something like that.
That was pretty
Wow.
cool, and it was neat because kind of that's where they've seen shadow figures and stuff in that kitchen. So
I haven't seen any shadow figures yet. I haven't been here long, but I'm sure it'll happen. So.
yeah,
And it was so interesting too that everyone mentioned like the ghost of Cecil. And
yeah, I was
then
thinking the same thing.
she and he and I get the name Cecil through the spirit box. I'm like,
Yeah, we were blown away. Like back in the kitchen,
yeah,
we were back there. We're just using the spirit box, and Cecil came. They said, "What's your name?" And he goes, "Cecil."
So that's his actual name.
Well,
Yeah.
according to what we're getting to the spirit box, but there's
more than
has a
one.
Theory of this Cecil guy.
Okay, because I thought, from what it sounded like they just gave him a name. Because the only name I associate with this place so far is the Dr. Jennings.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the only-
he's
that's the only
definitely-
name I know. So I thought they just named it to name it. Apparently that was back in the 80s.
that's
but-
what I thought too.
Yeah, but we were blown
So,
away. There's actually, I think she has a video on her.
yeah,
thing.
and he clearly he says his name more than once,
Says
and
Cecil,
like,
yeah.
and we're like, what? So that's not just a fictitious name,
Wow.
like, that's what I
Yeah,
thought too.
it was.
So
I was like, okay, I guess
For me, I'm really skeptical. So when you get that kind of validation,
Confirmation.
verification, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it blows me away because I'm always like, what?
yeah, it was interesting though because I also wondered, or he could have been referring to himself as like I'm Cecil, like the
the Cecil that everyone refers to.
exactly, but not necessarily. Although I thought we'll have to ask him, is that your real name? That's a good question.
Good question.
Yeah, but Dr. Jennings, absolutely. He even says like, "Hello, I'm Dr. Jennings." Like,
I think I
the-
heard that in that one video.
it's crazy.
In this front hallway, we do a lot of stuff too.
Yeah. No, I don't doubt it. This is where all the footsteps are heard. That's where the lights go on the most. I don't doubt it.
crazy.
I caught a little Evie, the girl laughing.
Yeah, Melinda, we
She was hiding
believe.
downstairs. So
She-
you didn't hear it real time, but when you played the recording back. So usually wear the body camera on. Once you
Right.
start investigating, that'll pick up, obviously video, but good sound too. So I was
Okay.
walking around and heard this little girl just giggle. It was the craziest thing.
This is the coolest stuff to me.
It's cool. Yeah, Melinda's around. She was 12 and she passed away from a fever. And she was one of Dr. Jennings' daughters. That's actual. Like
Okay.
we know that's true. She did die at 12 and all that. So she's around here a lot, just in case you do hear
I know
anything to
another officer heard a little girl say hello to him once.
Really?
Yep, right. He was in the PD and he heard it right outside the door. And there's a camera right there at the door, and obviously there was no
So
little
you could-
girl there, so he was just kind of freaked
Well,
him
I
out.
can believe it from catching that little laugh.
Oh yeah.
We were up here in the boardroom, and we were up there one night, and we catch a lot of stuff up there, but something blew in my ear. Like, I literally felt like a puff of air. Then
I remember that.
Was
Yeah.
that the night we
that
had the
was-
sound happen too? Like remember that one that said like if someone was wrong with his leg, his
yes.
left leg. It was crazy to hear about his left leg, and I think it got shot.
Mm-hmm.
Something like
I think
that.
he did say that he was shot.
Stuff is just so cool to me.
Pretty neat,
And the
yeah.
history you find out, and
Oh,
the people
yeah.
that you meet through it, it's just, oh my gosh,
And
it's something.
and then when it lines up, it's like holy cow.
It's
So
like, wow, they were right.
Yeah.
That's how I felt when I first experienced the footsteps was the first one. I was like, oh, okay, they weren't kidding.
in the drawer, that's like
That
really
one-
significant.
that one, I don't know, it didn't freak me out as bad as I thought, because I just like, all I saw in the corner of my eye was open, and I looked over and it closed, and I was like, okay.
How far did it open? Like,
I mean, I would say probably almost halfway. I mean, it
Oh.
opened a good bit.
Wow.
So
pretty cool.
I just kind of.
It's kind of like surreal when something that major happens. I think it's hard to process. So, but
Awesome. So I think it's awesome that you guys came here. They told me today, oh yeah, we were just talking about you guys last week.
oh
He was
really?
like, oh, guess who's coming? And I said, who? And they said, you guys. And I was like, that's freaking awesome, because I grew up watching Ghost Hunters on
Oh.
Sci-Fi. Yep. And so ever since then, all this paranormal stuff fascinates me. So I just thought I just had to come say hi. I thought it was totally cool that you guys are here.
we found out it people show up.
For her.